Well, g'day Curd Nerds. Welcome to your Curd Nerd journey. And today's episode is featuring Shauna Illingworth, who's also in the chat today. So that is lovely. Before I start the show, of course... Thanks, Eric. Before I start the show, of course, let's not forget all of the financial members of the show. Big shout out to all the patrons this week, especially Colin Thompson, Judson, and Lisa G, who recently signed up for perks and whatnot, and also to all of the YouTube members, Kerry Harburn, Bree Schnell, Bruce Neely, Nightmares at the Table, and Chelsea Grimsley, who are the latest in a swag of people who have become members and patrons of the show, who support it financially every single month. So thank you so much. It keeps the lights on here and keeps the show going. Okay, don't forget though, if you do a super chat, you light up the room. Anytime, computer. Is it going to work? It's thinking about it. No, it was working before. Don't know why it's not working now. Finally. If you do a super chat, then you light up the room with the Curd Nerd light. So that's what happens. All right, it's off. It's fixed. Right. Goodness me. All right, so today is Shauna's day. Thank you, Shauna. Let me just bring up Shauna's story and some lovely photos. Okay, so here it is. Shall we go, or shall we say hello to a few people? Let's do that first because we can. Oh, that is... Oh, I don't know why that's going off again. Because it can. There we go. I fixed it. Alrighty. Let's say good day to a few people. First person in the chat today was Eric. Welcome, Eric. And then we had Katarina and Shauna, of course. And then we had Maddie and Becky from South Africa. We've got Robin. Not sure where Robin's from, but g'day, Robin. Lovely to see you. We've also got someone in Cyrillic, which I can't read. Not sure. If you can translate that to English, that would be wonderful. Christopher and Stacey. Hello, Stacey. Lovely to see you here on a Wednesday evening in my time here. Okay, so let's get on with Shauna's story, because that's what we're here for today. Shauna has been a long time member and patron. I think she's both, and also a supporter of the show. So it's absolutely fantastic that we've got Shauna's story here today. So let's start reading it out. Now, if I pause or misread something, don't worry. I'm practicing reading, that is. So, yeah, let's get on with it. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. Anyway, here we go. My Curd Nerd Journey by Shauna Illingworth. I can't say... Oops, hang on. Besides me, there it is. There's Shauna. Sorry. See, I've done it again. I'll start again. My Curd Nerd Journey by Shauna Illingworth. I can't say that I've always had the desire to be a curd nerd. Right up until I started making it, cheese was just another item on the shopping list, like cereal, bread, or pasta. Oh, I knew that there were different varieties of cheese, but making them had never entered my head. Growing up on the New South Wales south coast, days were spent on the beach or hiking the escarpment that ran behind our very small town. The biggest cheese news of my youth was the introduction of individually wrapped cheese slices. I moved from the Illawarra region to southeast Queensland and was introduced to blue cheese by my dad, which, to my surprise, I really liked, being a bit of a moldophobe. I remember that I had to close my eyes to eat it. A few years after we married, Marty and I moved to northern Tasmania in November 2006 and settled into our current home in 2011. We had a couple of acres in a little village that is picture perfect, with livestock all around and our yard filled with chickens, turkeys and ducks. My cheese making journey began in October 2018 when, hand on heart, I bought Marty a Mad Millie hard cheese kit for his birthday, with the idea that this was something we could do together. He says it's like when he buys power tools for me for my birthday. My first cheese was a Mad Millie Wensleydale with cranberries. Let's see if we got something like that. No, that's Shauna. No, we don't. Okay. When I think about it now, it was not great. It was all right, but I was chuffed. I'd made it myself. I progressed through the Mad Millie recipe book and was half-heartedly trying to find more recipes when Marty suggested I search YouTube. And there, for the first time, I heard the immortal words, "G'day, curd nerds." Thinking back, I've spent hours and hours watching your videos and trying to understand the process. I was still working full-time, so I managed to make one cheese a week. Over time, I gradually sourced more equipment, 3 fridges, external thermostats, etc., and now have boilers and only use boilers, etc., only used for cheese making. I have a butcher's trolley where I keep everything except the moulds, boilers and the fridge freezer items, and just wheel that into the kitchen when I need it. I also have 3 cheese presses, and thanks to your videos, I have moved from double boiler setup to using a sous vide. What a game changer. Being of diminutive stature, I began to lift the boilers when they are full, and now, like you, my kitchen sink is a water bath. I will also add here, rather sheepishly, that I had my kitchen remodelled to house my cheese-making paraphernalia. Absolutely amazing. Love it. The next big change in my journey was when we moved my mum and stepdad from New South Wales to live with us in January 2021. It soon became apparent, due to their diminishing health, that I would have to give up work and become a full-time carer for both. To digress slightly, our home is open plan, with the lounge, kitchen and dining all being one big room, and due to this layout, cheese making became my salvation. I was able to be in the kitchen making cheese and still be in the same space as Mum and Nev. And as they became less mobile, my cheese production increased, sometimes making 3 or 4 cheeses a week. It was wonderful being able to do something for me while still caring for them. And there's Nev with Shauna's cheese. There we go. Unfortunately, before Christmas 2023, Nev had to go into a nursing home on a permanent basis as his medical needs were more than we could provide at home. And now my cheese making has dropped back to once a week. As we are the only family he has in Tasmania, we try to visit him 3 times a week. So things have changed again. I love being so prolific with my cheese making and really enjoy giving cheese baskets as gifts. But now my time has to be shared between cheese making, looking after my mum, taking care of my dogs and birds, and of course visiting Nev. Thinking about it all, it has been a journey with lots of ups and downs and more failures than I care to think about. But I try to use each disappointment as a lesson to know what not to do next time. In 5.5 years, I've progressed from making cheeses that I'd never heard of before I started, and there were still so many more to try. I've even introduced Marty's sister Tonya to the world of cheese making, and she is now at the beginning of her own road. So that's it. That's about it up to today. But before I go and make some camembert, I really want to say a huge thank you to you. You have made this journey possible by giving your time, sharing your knowledge and enthusiasm, and getting me well and truly hooked on cheese making. Guess you could call me a certified curd nerd. Take care, Shauna. Well, thank you, Shauna, so much. Let's show some of Shauna's pictures that I kind of skipped over. Some of these she sent into my Ask the Cheese Man segment on Sundays. So this is I know for a fact, is a smoky paprika that she made, and she's made quite a few of these now, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a delicious cheese. This is Shauna's Lipa Justo, which is a Finnish cheese, and she's got some cloudberry jam there, which is an absolute must to have with this cheese, and it is amazing. There was another shot, the coffee cups there for a reason. With Lipa Justo, it's also called cafe cast, which is coffee cheese, which you can cut a little bit off it and put it into a cup of black coffee, and it tastes quite nice. Now, Shauna says she had 3 cheese freezers, cheese fridges. So here's one of them, fully stacked with ripening boxes that have various cheeses within them. Here's another one that's even bigger, which has finished or vacuum-packed cheeses with them, and pieces in the door that are ready to eat. And there's the final one with eggs and the Christmas ham and some extra cheeses and some milk for the next cheese, and her lovely puppy, who's not such a puppy, he's a big boy, I think. And Shauna loves to, at Christmas time, she loves to gift a lot of her cheese to friends and family, which is a wonderful thing. So lovely. So please join me in thanking Shauna with a... There we go, there's a baby goat. Thanking Shauna for her story this week. Absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed it personally. So I think that everybody has their own story, and everybody makes cheese for their own reason. And Shauna's reason is because she loves the process or enjoyed making it. And I think that I might have had some influence in there somewhere. Who knows? But anyway, it was a great story. Thank you very much, Shauna. Okay, I'm going to open the floor to questions in a second, so just whack them in the chat. We've got 13 people watching, but yeah, pop them into the chat. That would be fantastic. One thing I will say is that we don't get as many people on this stream as we do normally the Saturday ones, so the stream will go for as long as you've got questions or observations or what have you. So first of all, of course, Maddie figured out that the intro was actually Red Dead Redemption 2, a game that I play frequently when I have some spare time, which is not very often. But it is a great game, and you would have seen my little character there. Let me just... I'll put him up for a second. You won't be able to hear me, but I'll put him up for a sec. Anyway, he kind of looks like me, which is funny because Kim also plays the game. We play the online version occasionally, and that's me. I kind of made my avatar look like me, and Kim has her avatar, and she kind of looks like her, which is really funny. We ride around doing all things you do in Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a great game. Anyway, Becky has a question or a statement. Says, a case of serendipity. I was writing out some questions on low temperature long hold, pasteurization whilst listening to Sunday's stream when Gavin answered one of the questions in the stream. How's that for fabulous? Fabulous indeed. Very good. Thank you so much. I'll 100% agree with Robin. Shauna, thank you for sharing your journey in amongst all other things going on in your life. Indeed. Becky says, great story. Shauna, thank you for sharing it. And Stacey says the same thing. Great story, Shauna. It was. And Eric chimed in as well. It was really lovely and heartfelt. That you got to spend some time with your mum and Nev and could make as many cheeses as you wanted during quite a long period there. I remember that you would buy quite a bit of starter cultures and stuff from my shop, and for that I thank you. And just a heads up, Shauna, your order is on the way that you ordered the other day. And inside I put a little gift for you, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. Anyway, moving right along. Becky has a question, says, if you do low temperature long hold pasteurisation with raw milk, do you still cut the amount of rennet and culture or leave it as in the recipe? Good question, Becky. I have stated before about raw milk that if you are going to use raw milk and it's your choice and whether you do or not, I cannot guarantee success if you do use raw milk because I only use pasteurised and unhomogenised milk. Or if I do use raw milk, I pasteurise it using home pasteurisation, using, as Becky has said there, low temperature long hold, which we have a video about on the channel. Becky, to answer your question, no. You don't cut the amount of rennet and culture as you would with raw milk. You've now pasteurised the milk. It has destroyed the vast majority of the lactic bacteria, and because of the heat treatment, albeit a lower than commercial dairies would use, you still need to use the same amount of rennet. Leave it as per the recipes that I have in my books, and any of the printable recipes that we have on the website, so which will be going into the third book sooner rather than later. Eric says, I had to chuckle at the cheese in the video game. It looked like Late Blow. Yeah, it was supposed to be, well, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be cheddar, but it's fun. The guy in the shop that you buy it from, if you play the game, the dialogue says it's the best cheese in the county or something. I'd hate to see the worst cheese. Anyway, it was a nice cheese nonetheless, if you're into that sort of thing. Maddie said, I learned how to make sodium citrate from your video, and it's made my mac and cheese so much creamier. Pardon me. Yes, it does. It makes a magnificent cheese sauce. So you can use the sodium citrate in a couple of ways. So you can use it to make what they call in the south of the US queso, which is basically a cheese sauce for nachos. And you add sodium citrate, and you also add a fair bit of water to the cheese that you're trying to make runny, okay? If you want to make it firmer, like the American cheese that I made with the help of Larry from Deep South Texas, you add less water and the same amount of sodium citrate. Sodium citrate is just the emulsifier that helps bond the fat particles together, and they don't melt and go, they don't turn runny into an oil, if that makes sense. So sodium citrate will make an amazing cheese sauce, as Maddie can attest to. Becky says, low temperature long hold, how fast should you get the milk from fridge temperature to 63 Celsius, balancing the need to get rid of bad bacteria with the need not to shock the milk? Okay, as fast as you can. So if you're using, say, all right, so this is the process that I follow, if you can. Add your milk to the pot. It'll come up to room temperature within 30 minutes. So that's half the paddle. You don't have to need to heat it. And then you can start heating it to 63. Last time I did it was about 5 years ago that I've had access to raw milk. It took about 40 minutes, and it doesn't really matter how long it takes to get there. Within 40, 45 minutes is okay. If you can do it faster, that's fine. But the biggest key to it is the long hold, the 30-minute hold at 63 Celsius, whatever that is in Fahrenheit. Alexa, convert 63 Fahrenheit to... Sorry, I'll start again.
63 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, I don't want that.
17.22 degrees Celsius.
Alexa, convert 63 Celsius to Fahrenheit. Get it right in a minute.
63 degrees Celsius is 145.
145 Fahrenheit, and you sit there and you hold it for 30 minutes, and then you try and cool the milk down as quickly as possible down to the temperature that you want to start making cheese at. So, for instance, if the recipe says 30 degrees Celsius is your starting temperature, you cool it down to 30 degrees Celsius. And last time I did it, I used a big block of ice in the water bath, and that cooled the water down really quick. Or what you can do is basically let all the hot water out of the water bath and just replace it with cold water and put some ice in that, and it goes even faster. So it's a nice quick way to get the temperature back down to the starting temperature of your cheese. So Becky, I hope that answered your question. Question 2B. When heating curd, we are sometimes told 1 degree every 2 minutes. Would that be the same for low temperature long hold? No. Try and get it to 63 as quickly as you can. Within reason, it's home pasteurization. You don't have to go too crazy. Shauna has a question. Says, weren't you going to make a super mac and cheese recipe? Yes, I was. Thank you for reminding me, Shauna. Right, let me just write that down again. I don't even think it's on my Trello list. Super mac and cheese. I can do. I've actually got quite a few cheeses maturing soon, so probably would it be an ideal opportunity to make that video. I was going to make it with Gruyere. What was it going to be? Gruyere, cheddar, and possibly Comte. I think those 3 cheeses were probably a good, and maybe a little bit of mozzarella. Real buffalo mozzarella. So I don't have any of those available in the cheese fridge at the moment, but I would have to buy those in. So I think it's probably a good video that I could, I wouldn't have to make all the cheeses to put in there. I think that if I bought them, I don't think anybody would be too upset, because it'll be for everybody, the wider public, if that makes sense, just not just for curd nerds. Anyway, Eric says, I use evaporated milk in my queso. Give it a try. I will. Add a lot of extra creaminess to it, I think, Eric, which is a great suggestion. Stacey says, would there be a large difference in texture and flavour making semi-hard cheeses with 2.9% fat versus 4%? Yes, there would be. You know how Parmesan and Romano and the cheese that cannot be mentioned are grainy in texture? Part of that is the high cooking temperature, but a lot of that is that they use low-fat milks in their production. So low-fat milks tend to make the cheese a lot grainier and crumblier. Yeah, crumblier. Yeah, not so much high acidity. It's the lack of fat. The texture in cheeses that use 4% or Jersey milk, which is almost even 5% fat, or fat solids in the milk, tend to be a lot creamier, richer, and less crumblier and less grainy. So, yeah, the fat content has a lot to do with the texture of the cheese. Stacey says, is Red Leicester good in mac and cheese? Indeed it is. Red Leicester is a delightful cheese that I've made, and I think a few of you may may have made it or are going to make red Leicester, and it is delightful. I've had so many great reports back from curd nerds that have used my red Leicester recipe and had some fantastic results. And even some people have told me that they have actually bought a piece of red Leicester and blind taste tested it with friends with their red Leicester, and their red Leicester won every single time. So, yeah, it was good to know. Shauna says, and it's winter for us. It will be awesome. I think you're referring to the mac and cheese. Yes, perfect. Shauna says, did you get the Comte recipe? Yes, I did, Shauna, and I actually mentioned that in a little note I put in your order. Oh, sorry, I didn't reply back to your email, but I've got it. I've printed it off, and I'm going to make it this weekend. So we're going to be making Comte this weekend at my house, and that should be good fun. Now, for those who don't know, I've got how many videos on the go? Ben's just finished editing the third one, but they're not all complete. Let me just bring up the Trello board just to show you what's going down, because there's been a bit of a delay. It's like 3 weeks, nearly 3 weeks since I released a video, a tutorial type video, and there's a big reason why. Coming up, where is it? Where is the second monitor? Here we go. So, currently editing, and it takes a long time to make these cheeses. We've got a baby Swiss that's on the go. We've also got triple udder blue, which is on the go as well, which is made from cow's milk, buffalo milk, and goat's milk. I made a combination of all three. I've also got a Boar's on the go. I've also got dry jack taste test, which I'm filming tomorrow, and I've got to film bits for all these 3 cheeses tomorrow, but they're still not complete, so the video won't be released for a while. So Kim has suggested that I do something like the, answering viewers' comments or something like that again, but having looked at the performance of that video, I don't think people liked it for some reason. But you can chime in the chat if you want to. I changed the thumbnail because I thought this one was a little bit too gaudy. But yeah, people just didn't flock to it like I thought they may do. Because it was, well, I thought it was quite funny anyway, but, my sense of humour is a little bit weird. But like I said, a video shoot this weekend for me is Comte, so we'll be doing some of that. I don't think it's going to be big and round and flat like that one. But Shauna has given me a recipe that she tried and true and reckons is fantastic, so I'll be giving that a go. And then a few weekends after that, because I'm going away for my 60th birthday to let me just put my face up here. I'm going away to Castlemaine, and I'm going to visit the folk at Low-temp cheese. So there's a cheese making production up there in Castlemaine, but we love Castlemaine anyway. We've been there a few times. We're going to stay in a little cottage with a wood fire, and it's just me and Kim celebrating my 60th birthday in style. During one of the days, because we're going during the week, not the weekend, during the week, and we're going to visit Castlemaine and pick up some cheeses from Low-temp cheese. So that'll be good fun. Shauna says, 60, you young pup. We are a little ahead of you. Thanks, Shauna. Now you make me feel really young. Goodness me. It's going to be a great birthday. Yes. Thanks, Eric. Happy early birthday. Yeah, so it's how many weeks? 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today. So I'm not, what day do I leave? Goodness me. Hang on, let me just have a quick look, see if we'll have a Wednesday show that week. Yeah, I leave on the Wednesday, so we're away. So I may move it to the Tuesday. Depends on if I have a story or not for that week. Eric does have a question. He says, how much of a pain in the neck is it when making washed curd cheese using a sous vide? It's not that bad. What did I do? Which cheese was it? I think it was the Baby Swiss, had a washing phase in there as well. It's pretty easy. So when you do, you dip off the whey to the level of the curds, and then you add back in warmer water. So what you do basically is, as you're dipping off the whey, increase the temperature of your precision cooker to the new target temperature, and then when you add in the water that's been heated up a little bit more to bring the target temperature up quickly and to wash a lot of the lactose out of the curds, you're at the right temperature for the water bath. Does that make sense, Eric? Because sometimes you have to you have to wash the curds a couple of times, increasing the temperature each time. So that's what I do. Just before I start dipping off the whey, I set the precision cooker to the new correct temperature, and then it takes a little while to do that, and the water in the water bath heats up anyway. So, and then you pour in your washing water, and it's good to go. It's at the right temperature, and it doesn't fluctuate too much. It's not too bad. So that's the way I do it, and it seems to work okay. And like I said, I've just made Baby Swiss using the precision cooker, and that's how I did it, and it worked fine. So Nicola, hello Nicola, lovely to see you. Yep, a couple of years younger than me too. God, I am a spring chicken, but look at all this grey hair. I'm like a wizened old cheese master or something. I don't know what's going on there. Stacey says, I used my Manchego mould for the first time and made a rookie mistake, messing up the pattern a little by having the pattern piece upside down for part of the pressing. I'll send pictures for the Sunday gallery. Yeah, funny, hang on. Tracy said the same thing. She said to me, and she sent me a lovely note about the mould that she sent me that I've got in this box. Oh, can I get it out? Oh, don't knock it. No, I won't. I'll knock my water over and that'll be the end of it. She says, a couple of points to bear in mind with the mould. The mould collar is very tight for the first few uses. It does come off easily, honest. Make sure the plain band on the collar is at the top so you don't get a plain bit on your cheese. So there's a plain band. Let me just try, hang on, I'll just move me coffee cup and me water out the way. Live show, guys. Goodness me, here we go. Right. Now, hopefully you'll be able to see this. So, let me just get rid of the Stacey's comment. Where the heck is it? There we go. Right, so this is a Manchego mould, and you can see... is it going to focus? Get my head out the way. You can see there's a collar. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, she says it comes out, she says. And you can't push it from the bottom. Because this one hasn't been used before, it's a bit tight. Right, there we go. Here it comes. This makes the pattern. So in here, and I think you can see it. See how it's got a band across the top? There's a plain band. This stays upmost. Because as you press the cheese with the follower, you're pushing the curds down. You're pushing the curds down, it gets past that plain bit. And all you get is the nice band. So, anyway, I'll put that back in there. Right. Shauna's got some pointers there on using the mold. She's got one too. Where is it? So Shauna says, hot water and gravity is your friend when using the Manchego mould. I will endeavour to remember that when I'm using it. I am going to also make my version of Manchego, which is basically Cowchego, which is a nickname that I think myself and some other curd nerds have given it, which is Manchego, which is normally made with Manchego sheep's milk. In this case, I use cow's milk to make it. So, get some of this cardboard off me. So I'm going to revise the old Manchego recipe and actually do a taste test this time, because I never did a taste test video. I'm going to use the mould that Tracy gave me from cheeseneeds.com. So thank you Tracy. I really appreciate it. Stacey says, yes, that's what I did. So the cheese has a full pattern, but a strip of it is slightly smushed. Oh, there you go. So yeah, the little band up. Katerina says, I had my 60th birthday earlier this year. That's fantastic. Happy birthday, Katerina. I'm actually going to officially retire from the workforce, or not have a taxable income, if that makes sense. Here in Australia, when you're age 60 and you become a self-funded retiree, you can do so at 60 years old and draw the old age pension at 67. So I figured out that I got enough money in my superannuation fund, or 401k for anybody in the US, that I can survive quite comfortably for, well, until I'm 95 or something. And then I don't know if I'll even get to 95, but anyway, the percentage chance of that, I think the chance of that is 5% apparently, today's statistics. So I'll be retiring from the workforce, even though we still run a YouTube channel, we have a business, and the business is a partnership, so it's treated differently tax-wise. So all the partnership money can go in Kim's name because she's going to retire at 67 officially. So anyway, I'll be living at large, doing YouTube videos and packing people's parcels if they order from Little Green Workshop. So that's all good fun. Lots of people saying happy birthday to Katerina, and rightly so. 60 is a big one as far as I'm concerned. Stacey says, I made Hispanico with saffron. Right, okay, that should be lovely. But yeah, looking forward to the photos there, Stacey. So yeah, that'll be good. Alrighty. There was some. Maddie says, the hardest cheese I've attempted is a Parmesan. It took a year. Indeed, and it does take a year. You can get away, because we make smaller wheels of cheese, right? Maddie, here's a tip. It probably would have been ready to about 10 months and probably wouldn't have improved too much in flavour for the extra 2 months. So 10 months is okay. I've opened up Parmesan and Romano and they're still really flavoursome at 10 months. So yeah, you could do that without too many issues at all. Anyway, any other questions? Shauna says, Marty says you better be home by 10. Is that for my birthday? I think that's what you're talking about. Anyway, yeah, we might. No, but we're going for about 2 or 3 days. Ben's babysitting the doggos, so that'll be good fun. To get away from the business, our home occasionally. You know, we don't leave very often, so yeah, it'll be good. Okay, if nobody else has got any questions, then we can call it a night. I think we've been going for 40 minutes, which is absolutely fine. But thank you, Curd Nerds. I appreciate it. Let me light up the room for you, if it works. There we go. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I really do appreciate your time. Don't forget that we also have cheese making supplies, and you can see swags of cheese kits and stuff behind me there. We have that over at Little Green Workshops. Is that working? Sorry. littlegreenworkshops.com.au, where we sell cheese making kits, supplies and equipment, and we send that all over the world. If you have a penchant for merch, I love merch. We've got some great t-shirts, aprons, cups, even some stickers as well over at merch.cheeseman.tv. And you can pick those up at your leisure. And there's even some merch on the merch shelf down below, which I believe that you just click on and go and do what you want to do with it. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you Sunday on Ask the Cheeseman Live. That'll be good fun. Hopefully all of you can join me there. Yeah, we'll see you then. All right, thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and thank you, Shauna, for sharing your story. Next week, we have another story, and this one's from Herb. Herb is Herb's from Texas, and he's got a lovely little story that we're going to share next week. So watch out for that one on Wednesday night, my time as well. All right, thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and I'll see you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.